Hi guys, so I will see if this is. You know what? I've got a list here. Okay, got a list here of abusive stuff I have seen out of people towards me in the past couple years, um, and I've already mentioned a bunch of stuff here, and yeah, I want to see if I'm going to get into this possibly. So I've already listed off some of this. Um, yeah, yeah, stuff about abuse. So people I want it to be known. Okay, so I already said Gabba Bernstein, Jay Shetty, Lewis Howe, Steve Hardison, Sorella Moore, Taylor Jackson, Mary Forleo, Kyle Cease, Jillian Wisborg, Chelsea Smith, Brandon Jacobs, Heather Glazer, Jacqueline Mulick, Hussein Sharif is on here, Elise Renouf and her friend Kentucky and her friend. What else? Oh, Amber Colbert would be on here at one point. I'll have to mention that. Her name's Lindsay. There's another one. I think she lives in Woodstock. Okay, so I wrote up this list because the stuff I was seeing, this happened with different people with this, but this was abuse, okay? So gaslighting, maneuvering, manipulation, bullying, attacks, abuse, intimidation, threats. There was stuff with gibberish, doublespeak, doublethink. There was testing. There was overstepping boundaries, like really trying to really overstep. Energy reads while I slept, reverse psychology thrown in there, trying to get groups of people together to pull this, fake websites made towards me, trying to condition stuff at me as far as abuse. So um, there was, oh God, there was a YouTube video with Abraham Hicks that was even put out, suggested at me talking about how every death is a suicide, okay? And this was psychically suggested towards me. And she was congratulating somebody on their husband killing himself, saying, "Oh, good for him." My dad had tried to kill himself twice. This was done. Okay, there was I like there's been a bunch of stuff. Okay, and it's to the point. I'm not exaggerating. It's to the point. I'm like, fuck this. I need to tell everyone about all of you. Yeah, because this is yeah. I've had enough. So when I'm saying this stuff, so gaslighting. So I posted that. I posted that online. So you saw there was some gaslighting there. So that would be, yeah, somebody saying one thing to you. Oh, they're trying to make it look like something's wrong with you, and then turn it going like, yeah, what are you talking about? It's, oh, he's the one with the problem. Meanwhile, they're being abusive. And you're going, no, I'm telling people what you're doing. Oh, no, no, no. You're the one. Oh, I'm sorry, you're mistaken. That was thrown in that email I posted from Moto. Oh, I'm sorry, you're mistaken. No, this isn't Soul Cycle. I posted this, okay, when I wrote to Moto in Sherwood Park, Alberta, explaining I was being treated by their manager. So, and the message I got back was a bunch of gaslighting. I think something was wrong with me, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I'm the one that paid to be there, and this is somebody you had managing your business was acting like this. You should be actually listening to that. Like, holy fuck! So I posted that. The maneuvering stuff, Mary Folio, I saw a ton of that from. If you are maneuvering someone, trying to maneuver to the point that it's manipulation, it feels toxic, and it's abuse. Manipulation, I saw from, I think, everyone on here. Oh, God. Okay, so Gabba Burns, oh, God. It just, there's tons. There's tons of stuff. I just listed off the the gibberish, double speak, double think. All that would be connected to Steve Hardison. I know he was doing gibberish. I think he might have thrown in double think, double speak. That right then. So someone wants to be able to make a post and be like, "What? I'm not lying. I'm not lying. But I want to just do this in a way that you're not going to fully. That you didn't want other people to fully know what you're talking about. It's trying to be. What is it? What's the word for it? It's used by governments to against people. Okay, double speak, double think is throwing in gibberish. Like it's all those sort of techniques. It's techniques. Okay, and it's used with well, what's the word for it? I don't even want to say it, but it is warfare. It is warfare. It's like mental warfare. I don't want to say that, but and I've got a gut feeling like I don't want to say it, but yeah, it is. So if you're going back, if you're going online and you're having any sort of, you're talking with somebody and that starts coming up, you're going, I know what you're doing. The testing stuff, trying to test you with, this is, a lot of this was being done online. Some of this though, like, oh my God, like this could be multiple videos. This could be multiple videos, so I might have to do that. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh yeah, I had stuff today and happened the other day. Tried to put markers on my back and stimulate me sexually, like stimulate you a little bit, and then feel like your spine was almost being touched above your butt, around your tailbone, feeling like you're being molested. That was directly connected to a bunch of people. Yeah, and I was clearing that. So when this happens, people don't think about, hey, you did that towards someone, so that's coming back. What's the karma for that? So right away, I'm like, what happens to somebody sexually when you tried to push something at someone that felt like they were being abused sexually? That comes back. Okay, so that comes back. What else? There's just a bunch. Like I could get like each. Oh my God, you've seen that. If you've seen some of my other videos getting in here. The thing I said about the what that feels like, what that's like when there is a new gym that goes in and you feel psychic nudge of, yeah, go look up gyms. And I see this new gym and I'm like, what the hell? It's called Chop Shop, okay, in Sherwood Park, Alberta, Canada. And I'm like, oh great, what's on here? And I'm scrolling through and there's little stuff thrown in there, and they use my name in there. And then next, look at the testimonials, and the testimonials are picking up on who actually did them, and they were fake. And they're connected to Moto, Sherwood Park, connected to Chelsea Smith and her friends. And next thing you know, there's an article, and it mentions conditioning. And then right away, I'm like, I know where this is going. And then I look at it, and then they mention essential oils, and then they're talking about conditioning an animal, and they're talking about me, and they're showing a bell. And next thing you know, I go outside after this within, I don't know how long, and when people would go by on their bikes, they were trying to psychically push a bell at me. That's who they actually are. That's Brandon Jacobs. That is Chelsea Smith. That is Jacqueline Mulick. That is Heather Glazer. And they have had other friends bullshit. I've mentioned this already, that I have had harassment towards my vehicle. I have pictures posted about it, writing stuff on posts, putting stuff on my car, Chelsea trying to walk by my family's house, all this sort of shit. With her boyfriend trying to intimidate, pull all this sort of crap. They group attacked me at my family's house in the kitchen. That had happened. Okay, I wrote out. You can check the email I did, and you check the video I did about what happened at that studio, and there was all a bunch of stuff. Like there was more. I don't even know if I got to throw in there. Like she went straight into darkness, was doing all sorts of bullshit. And then, I don't know what she told her friends, but she was the one that tried to lean on me energetically, like literally, which is bullying, when you're trying to lean your energy field on somebody. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Started pulling all this stuff. So I pushed back and I'm like, no, like you're not going to act like that. And how she acted. And then went and got a bunch of friends and started to pull stuff. So that happened. So that is in there. You can check that another video. Like I could just keep going on. Like this is a bunch. So that been going on. I have the thing with Jay Shetty I already mentioned on another video about the thing with mentioning like throwing shots at me about hair loss and all this stuff. That would have come from Gabba Bernstein. So the stuff with Mary Folio, Lewis Howe, Jay Shetty all came connected to Gabba Bernstein. So she went and got friends, and she got other people too, to try to make videos to take shots at me. So in that, there was maneuvering, manipulation, bullying, abuse, intimidation, threats. What else? Overstepping boundaries. I had energy reads on me. Tried to do that when I slept, and then there'd be posts online. So waking up, needing sleep, recovering from trauma, okay, all that stuff, and then I'm waking up and stuff was trying to connect to me. And I already said, I don't know if I said in another video, but there was literally, that happened, and then I'd go online and, oh yeah, like I had stuff, people were trying to post stuff about, like they actually tried to overstep the boundaries at my family's house and have stuff posted online. But here's the thing, how the links to the house started with that. they started from a Soul Family member in Ontario, Canada. Her name is Jillian. She tried to do links to this space, which I cleared all those links. Tried to do links to this house and was trying to link me to other people. That actually happened. She tried to link me to Jay Shetty's wife, and I went, what the hell are you doing? She tried to put markers above me and below me. There's so much here that people involved in this probably don't even know. And yeah, like Kyle Cease was thrown in there, and him and Jay made a thing about bullying, made a post about that, about mental health. I said another post, they were part of bullying towards me. They were pulling stuff towards me. And then people were getting them got at least Kyle to make some videos. And I'm kind of going, like, people actually did energy reads on me to try and see who I was following. And next thing you know, they were trying to manipulate the accounts that I was following and even get them to make some posts. So people in these spiritual groups were trying to get other people to do it who are also in the spiritual groups that they didn't normally deal with, and then get them to do posts. You can ask the universe. This has been happening. So I said the gibberish, double speak, double think, that's related to Steve Hardison. Posting, there'd be posts and posts made towards me, and then they'd be testing. What's his reaction? What's his reaction? They'd try to do energy reads. What's his reaction? Reverse psychology got thrown out there a bunch. Lots of stuff. Getting other people together to join in as a group. So there was Moto Sherwood Park and people that connected to Park Integrative. So there's a group. There was people out of Europe, out of Texas, out of Florida, out of Arizona, out of New York, out of California. How many groups is that now? But all connected. They could all connect in different ways. Not all of them, sorry. They weren't all connected, but it's the ones in the States. Except for so it would be Steve Harvison, people connected to him, and then people connected to Gavin Bernstein. So all ended up being a bunch of different groups, all coming at it. And Soul Family members in Ontario that went into darkness. Yeah, all coming at me. And going out into my area in Alberta and actually have psychic suggestions. This came from Brandon and his friends. To go for a walk. They've done this before. I'd go for a walk. Steph would be trying to mess with my right side, or I had psychic hooks thrown at my chest. That happened. Literally, imagine a suggestion of like, go out front, or go out back, or go on a walk, trying to fuck with me. Yeah, tried to do that. Tried to do suggestions or links to the house. They tried to do that, okay? So the thing about, and I mean, imagine all this at once. Imagine all this at once. So I'm not going to just go without saying this about all of you. I'm not. I'm definitely not, just so you know where you fucking stand with me. So I was invited on a podcast at one point that this one girl from the States was supposed to be putting together. Whether it happens, I'm not sure. Now, you guys did try to manipulate that, and I know that for sure. Mary Folio Gavin Bernstein was connected to that. I know Mary Folio was too. And I said that in a video already, that I knew it was obvious manipulation towards that, even towards the stuff with the girl posted, like obvious stuff, manipulation. So if I get to go into it about all the stuff, I can very easily, because I could go into each single person on here, because this has been 3 years of stuff towards me where this narcissistic abuse of what it started with, and then all these different people got pulled into stuff, and next thing you know, they're pulling stuff towards me. And I'm not going to put up with people trying to abuse me. So, I would have to, I'm going to see how I have to do this, but yeah, if I try to put this all in one video, that won't be enough. That won't be enough. I literally had, I said in another video, I wanted to clear corruption from the planet to get the vibration to go up. Okay? I started putting that out more, which I was already having stuff come at me from narcissistic abuse from Vancouver Island, and already had stuff from Jillian Wisborg in Ontario, was already having some of that, and already having some of the stuff with Chelsea Smith and her friends coming at me, which connected, And then I started putting it out more of like, no, I want to clear this corruption. What can I be doing? Like to clear healings, clearings, all this stuff. And then next thing you know, oh, Sorrel Amore starts like getting, what did she got? What's his face there? Taylor Jackson to make some post towards me, and it felt really toxic. And I was, what the fuck? And I'm going, okay. Then she got other people to throw some stuff at me. I'm like, what the fuck? And then these different groups, like stuff was just starting to come up. All the corruption started to come up, and they started to make posts towards me. And I'm kind of like, what the hell? Like this has been, like there's been a bunch of groups, a bunch. There was like a bunch of people pulled stuff. And I'm kind of going, huh. And I literally was putting out, clear the corruption, clear this. Oh, for the states, this trauma needs to heal. This needs to heal. This needs to heal. I'll put this out, this out, this out. Love and light here. This needs to go. This state needs this. This needs this. And I was doing that. I was doing that for Canada, doing that for US, doing that for different areas of the planet. Tons of stuff. Okay? And it started to come up. And there was definitely Gavin Bernstein, some people that they didn't like certain things I could do, spirits. I know Gavin Bernstein definitely of the, I don't, yeah, okay, if I'm putting stuff out spiritually and I'm going and doing something like that, I would be going, okay, this is sent as, say, a gift. This healing is a gift. Saying love and light here is a gift. You choose to receive that. You chose to receive that. So, yeah. I want to get into this more because I literally had it today and the other day that, I'm trying to think if I said that at the beginning or not, where I had markers thrown on my back, had stuff try to mess with me, and it was trying to touch me sexually. It was trying to literally get you going sexually, like stimulate you a little bit to get sexual energy. It feels disgusting. And then try to review you, and then try to even redirect some of the energy. So it felt like you're being abused. It feels like someone was trying to almost touch their hand on your spine, around your butt, below your butt, almost like touch you a little bit, but merge, and I'm like, oh, this is going to feel like good a little bit, but at the same time, you're going to feel like you're being like, what's the word? It just feels disgusting, like you're being abused, and then redirect. And I'm going, what do you guys think is going to come back on you for that? Like, do you not understand, one, like I'm not at the mercy of someone else, and do you not understand what your sex life is going to go through? I mean, I don't know how people think they're going to pull stuff like that and think that they're going to be like, oh, we're just going to do that, it's going to be fine. No, they're not. No, they're really not. And some of this stuff, like the thing with the with that gym chop shop at Sherwood Park, what do you think is coming back on them in their health? They literally talked about conditioning a fucking animal, acting like they were saying that towards me, and you thought like you're directly going at somebody's mental health when you do that. Oh, and when you go and you get groups of people in the States, Gavin Bernstein. And like I can rhyme off a huge list now of stuff from her. Like I think almost everything on that list except for gibberish, doublespeak, doublethink. And I could probably add more since then. She also tried to fuck with stuff with my nephew, which I mentioned. So it really was like a threat of like, hey, I can get at and manipulate your nephew. That was thrown in another video if you want to watch that one. That's on my Instagram. This stuff has happened. So literally like corruption's coming right up. All the stuff that's in them, all that stuff has just been coming up. And all this stuff coming up that I've been dealing with, and then having stuff with like family. And I'm like, yeah, all this coming up. And it's just like, to see that coming out of all these people and the shit that people tried to pull towards me, thinking you're going to treat me like that. And then I'm not going to say anything. I'm like, what the wait, are you fucking kidding me? Like, guy, I'm not exaggerating. When I'll look at this again. Like, I could rate out a bunch, and it was just like, dude, all this abuse towards me the past couple of years. Yeah, all this abuse. And I have seen the group attack stuff, all this sort of stuff. I've never tried to group attack someone. I have never tried to turn around and be like, hey, let me make it feel like you're being molested or any of this stuff. Because I'm going, wait a minute. Like, don't abuse. You try and do that. That's an abuse of sexual power, which means it's coming back on you. How? Interesting. So, yeah. And, okay, I mean, I don't know if I want to get it. Like, I have personally seen people that went out of their way to, like, be brutal with, I've seen how some of these things used at people have come back. I'll just say that. And I've seen it. So when you go and you get a big group together, like Gabrielle Bernstein and some of those, what are you guys thinking is going to happen? Do you not understand that you, in some way, shape, or form, have got all this coming back? You have all this, like, don't you get it? I mean, you have got gaslighting, maneuvering, actually, I know, I'm trying to think if you threw gaslighting in there. Yeah, you might have. Maneuvering, manipulation, bullying, abuse, okay. Directly when there was stuff that tried to mess with me, it's a read at night, and then there's a post made online saying, I got you. That was a psychic message or whatever from Gabrielle Bernstein. And I'm going, specific times posted, and next thing you know, people are trying to read my energy at night when I was laying in bed at those specific times. And I'm hearing, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Yeah. Stuff was trying to fuck with dreams, tried to connect to my back, tried to have it that I would roll on my right side and stuff would try to put markers on me, touch me sexually. That was happening. That ended up happening from Jillian, that happened a bit from Amber Colbert, and that narcissist, Elise Renew, tried to do that. The one who would try to throw stuff at you. Or I'd wake up in the middle of the night, and this has happened, and stuff was trying to merge with my sacral chakra, and either read me sexually or get me going sexually. So waking up feeling like stuff is trying to go at you sexually, I never consented to anything. And then going online and having all that. Oh, and then going outside and having all this shit from people connected to Moto and Park Integrative, so they want to go on about who they are when they're complete. It's all fucking bullshit. It's all bullshit. So this entire list, except for a couple of things, Gabrielle Bernstein is that level of abusive. She is. I've seen a lot of abusive shit out of Mary Foley, abusive shit of all these fucking people. Steve Harrison, very abusive shit out of him. They've taken names of the one guy on the list. His name's Kentucky on there. I don't even want to say it. He's such a piece of shit. They literally took that name and they had different people post with that name in a variation. They had Jay Cutler. There was, who was a former bodybuilder. They knew I liked bodybuilding before. So that would have been, I believe that was Steve Harrison that did that. Actually, first time trying KFC chicken, that was one of the posts. There was different celebrities, I think they made different posts, like different pictures. Jennifer Lawrence was one. There was an energy read done. Oh, who does he like for celebrities? Jennifer Lawrence. I think she's good looking. Next thing you know, on Facebook, they incorporate that name over the video. It happened, I screenshotted a bunch. It happened with a bunch of them. They threw it, Mary Foley, Gabrielle Bernstein, Lewis Howe. It was thrown into a training on, what was it? It was supposed to be about abundance, maybe it's abundance, but it was a training. Okay? They specifically threw, in the Kentucky Derby, they threw the name in. This was being thrown in at me at posts. That means you are directly trying to harm and abuse someone that through videos that I already said. I came back from a head tick. My dad has tried to kill himself twice. My mom was in the hospital with a heart thing at one point. I have had all this shit come at me. All this stuff would come at me, and you guys thought you were just going to throw more and more fucking abuse at me, and you aren't going to be abused. You guys are going through a fuck ton of abuse. A fuck ton of abuse is coming at you. And I'm not even saying I'm doing it. The universe is going to do it. What makes you guys think you're going to do stuff like this and be like, oh, we're going to be all right? No, you're not. Of course you're not. I've studied this shit. I've studied how much I know about this stuff, how much I've studied it. There's no fucking way you guys are going to just walk away and be like, oh, we're just going to pull this towards them and we're going to be fine. No, oh my God, you guys don't understand. You have not seen what I've seen. You do not know what I know about this stuff. I've been told by the universe in the past, oh my God, in the past couple of years, hey, this person, these are the things they did towards you. This is what they had to go through. And I went, holy fuck. And that's what I know. They don't get away with anything. They don't. They don't. They think they do. They don't. So when I look at this list, they don't get away with anything. They're not. They're not getting away with anything. So I'm going, when you are throwing this out there, I could add more to this. So the thing the Abraham Hicks thing, throwing it on about the death, every death is a suicide, congratulating. This was done. It's a psychic nudge towards me to look at the video. Abraham Hicks congratulating somebody's husband on killing himself, saying every death is a suicide. And this was suggested towards me, knowing that my dad tried to kill himself twice. So once again, you're trying to use stuff at someone with that. There was a bunch. There was a couple of things mentioned about suicide. Trying to throw at me. That was on there. uh, yeah, it's like, yeah, yeah. And like literally, it has been that narcissist. So it all started with that narcissist and Joan Misborg in there too, because she, yeah, went to go do energy healing on that narcissist in Souk. I heard that she had, like, I don't even, oh my God. You'd have to watch the separate videos. There's so much that's happened in the past years to try to do this. Like, I'll see if I end up doing something with podcasts, if I do my own, or if there's someone I feel drawn to talking to, because I would have to get into like every single thing on here, and it would have to be like little by little by little. It wouldn't even. I don't think I could fit all that in one. I don't. I don't necessarily feel like, because there's a bunch to it. And I've had people be like, "Well, what the hell? Why is this happening?" Like, I literally, why this started, okay? Went to go do energy healing on a narcissist my sister used to work with. And I did energy healing with Jillian Misborg. Both of them tried to turn around and attack me after I did it. Within, yeah, they both did. Didn't do anything to get that going at me with them. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And both of them tried to do witchcraft at me and all this sort of shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then they tried to cause stuff with some of the other people on the list too. So tried to link me to different people. So Jillian tried to link me to Jay Shetty's wife, tried to link me to get me to connect and link with people out of Texas. So Aaron Doty and his girlfriend and people in that group tried to get me connected to some of these people. And so she was doing that. The thing in Souk, or the narcissist in Souk there, was trying to suggest Gabby Bernstein towards me. So I used to follow like Kyle Cease, Mary Forleo. And then she wanted to be able to do coaching, okay? I started a coaching business. I was doing coaching. I was helping people with coaching. She tried to mess with me while I was doing the coaching. Psychically started to try to mess with me. So she wasn't happy with doing it. And yeah, she tried to get me to, I ended up reading the book Super Attractor. And I ended up doing some energy reads for Gabby Bernstein. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'll do these reads. I was looking through Instagram and I was like, okay, who should I do some reads for? Or like just do a healing or some reads. And I ended up doing it for her. And then we ended up kind of joking around. Like, there was no direct reply like that, but it was, it'd be like I'd send her a message and then there'd be a response through a post or a podcast. And I was like, okay, and it was directly, obviously, responding to me. And joking around and certain things, but then that narcissist tried to project near me, tried to entangle with my field, suggest things like that, and would try to make things toxic. She tried that with Mary Forleo too, and was trying to, like, between her and Jillian Misborg, was literally trying to push me together with different people. She tried to cause links. And I was literally having it that she was trying to do suggestions at me around my right side, and even going close to my throat chakra, and entangle and even project stuff. And I was seeing like, I was seeing a bunch of stuff that, like, psychic. I'm like, I'm not the one that did that one. Like, I could joke around psychically, and I was. So there's telepathy, there's psychic windows, projections, and you can joke around. You can literally talk psychically back and forth. But when all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, I didn't say that. Like, she was trying to make it, I was walking along and it'd be like, I don't know, the word like fat would be thrown at somebody and she was projecting it, or too old, or some sort of thing. She tried that towards me before that. I didn't project that. I saw that. I was like, what the fuck? So then I'm going, wait a minute. I don't want people I don't feel like having it where other people, and I know because I've seen posts online, they picked up on it, that it was trying to make me look bad. Yep. That narcissist was trying to make me look bad. She tried to get her friend involved, and Jillian tried to pull stuff too. Chelsea Smith and some of her friends pulled stuff too. So tried to make it look like I was saying certain things I wasn't, or projecting certain things I wasn't. And yeah, so now there were certain people that thought I was trying to, like, make it look like I was touching their butt sexually, psychically, when it wasn't, or project a sex toy when I wasn't. This happened. So Sorella Moore, that rabbit vibrator, if you've ever heard of that thing, tried to make it look like I was projecting that at her apartment when I wasn't. So pulling this stuff, and then next thing you know, some of those people are making posts towards me. Or next thing you know, this happened with Sorrel. She tried to read my bedroom, and then next thing you know, they tried to get the name on one of my shirts. Next thing you know, O'Neill. And next thing you know, she had someone post something incorporating O'Neill in there. Shit like this. And I'm kind of like, huh. So I was going back and forth joking with certain people, or even talking some of the stuff. And then there was stuff thrown in there from a narcissist. Like trying to make it look like Mary Foley will fall down a flight of stairs at Saturday Night Live. When I was like, wow, you should host SNL at one point. And I literally I think I projected or suggested it psychically. And I was like, yeah, you should do that. And then I saw her like walking out, and then the suggestion came in and projected it, and then it looks like she's just falling down the flight of stairs. I'm not the one that did that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Or Gabrielle Bernstein made it look like she was outside a courtroom with something happening with like her ending up in court, something happened towards her. That was suggested and projected. All sorts of stuff. Even stuff about her son. Yep. Like I'm hearing all over the chimney sweep and like trying to get something going there of like this. Like, oh yeah, if something comes up about her son. That was actually happening. She was actually doing that. Yeah. So yeah. And then I'd be going, can you like source clear that, go deal with that, because I don't feel like having somebody thinking that I'm pulling that. There was Steve Hardison, there was stuff suggested there for him of like projections. I think at his house there was projections. There was like an image of his house. There was projections there. There were suggestions and projections of stuff of like taking shots at certain people. I'm literally sitting there. I'm like, and I'm like, I'm not saying that. So imagine this is real, okay? Somebody trying to connect to like either throat chakra or near your ear, projecting their voice, or trying to put a marker and project their voice or entangle with your energy field, or try to put a marker on the astral, okay? So remove all that stuff. And then trying to suggest, so literally in the morning, waking up, and then, so this is what was happening. This is fucked, but this is what's been happening. Go to bed at night. No, I don't even know if I want to say that, but it is fucked, okay? It has been just a lot, it's been a lot of abuse. It has been a lot of abuse. Having stuff try to touch you, connect you sexually at night, waking up after 5-6 hours sleep, needing more sleep, and stuff was trying to read you, connect you, or push something on you sexually, or even manipulate a dream, or try to put a hold on you to try to find something about you. And then waking up, and then trying to maneuver it when you roll on your right side to throw markers on your back to get you going sexually and suggest stuff, and to maneuver you into try to do something sexual. And then try to get you to joke around, try to get you laughing while you've already had that, and then try to even manipulate or your energy. This has happened, like trying to your field, try to connect you and push that. So imagine someone trying to literally, like you felt like stuff was trying to pretty much molest you, and you're like, what the fuck? And you need sleep. Or try to throw a marker in your bedroom, or a program, or a link, or all this stuff, okay? Or try, oh yeah. I woke up the one day, Brandon Jacobs has got his face tried to project as he tosses his face around me like there, stuff tried to connect to my back, that narcissist there tried to project her voice and mock me and say nasty shit at me while I just woke up. After having like mess sleep, and I won't say mess sleep, but having stuff. I've had it where they tried to manipulate dreams, where stuff tried to post like literally like tried to manipulate me, tried to enter dreams to go at me and pull stuff. Yeah. Full on tried to throw programs at me or on me, and entanglement, projections, merging, tried to put markers underneath my foot, tried to unground, tried to put cords on my crown and my feet. The other day I was walking and tried to manipulate my energy field to make it feel like you're almost like this, and I was like, you don't have that power over me, you're never going to. So the people, these are not strong people, they're not. but it has been stuff trying to come at you, and it's been like 3 years. And if you need it, when you get a group of people to try to fuck with you with that stuff, that's not powerful people, and that's what's annoying. Is like I said it before. I've done a read on some of these people. They're maybe in the seventh. Some of them aren't even in the seventh dimension. It doesn't seem like, but I've been to about like above Christ conscious, galactic conscious, and literally 33rd dimension, and coming back from trauma and having generational stuff come at you, and people pulling shit with you that you're like, well, I don't put up with that. I would never put up with you acting like that towards me, ever. I never would. Well, but maybe you thought I was going to tolerate that because, like, my dad got raped as a kid, okay? So imagine generational wounds on your right side coming through of, like, rape and whatever else was in there, and then stuff coming from my mom's side of there was also people who got raped and they gave up children and all sorts of stuff, and that's coming out of you too. So there's wounds coming out, and it's not mine. So then certain people are like, oh yeah, he's going through this, let's try and take shots at him. And it's like, I would never put up with that. Ever, ever, ever. And then I see stuff posted online, I'm like, it's not even like, people thought, what's the word? Certain things that were posted towards me, and I'm like, that's not mine. That's not mine. That's not mine. That's not mine. Of like, oh yeah, he is this. I don't have attachment issues. I don't have people pleasing issues. I do not have certain father wounds or mother wounds. People thought I've done the amount of work I've done on myself. I don't. Even stuff with money. Before all of this, I was investing. I had my nature photography business. I had that going. My dad tried to kill himself twice. All this stuff kind of got put here. I had to be like, okay, you got to focus on all the stuff with my dad. And I did have stuff going with coaching. So yeah. And then I had all these attacks and all this stuff come at me. So all this stuff and trauma and narcissistic abuse and having stuff where I was supposed to talk on a podcast about miracles, and then they tried to mess with that. And I'm going, I know this is going to be talked about. This is going to be talked about. Everything that I dealt with, everyone that did, everything they did towards me, it's all going to be talked about. I'm going to make sure it's talked about. And I'm going to go right into it. And I'm going to mention it. Because how people acted, and they thought they were going to post, like, even that stuff I said, the markers on the back, feeling like you must, if anyone thought you were ever going to do something like that towards me, and you're going to be just, oh, we're just going to do this. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm not putting up with that. So maybe I have to start, like, I thought of doing this on YouTube, but now I might do, if I talk about stuff, it would have to be maybe with a friend of mine or somebody I really trusted because I'm seeing a bunch of these groups that, because they work together, I don't trust like any of them to really go and talk on something for a podcast. And I've been invited on a bunch of podcasts the past couple of years, a bunch of different ones. There was one I was supposed to do with a coach out of Chicago, and then I had a really bad feeling about it. She had a decent amount of followers when I was doing coaching, and I did coaching for her over the phone. She really liked it. And then I had a really bad feeling about it, so I didn't do it. And then I was invited on a bunch of different ones, but I only agreed to one, and I was going by like the feeling of it. But she didn't have it up yet. But all this stuff has been happening, and there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on for me with the spiritual stuff, which I don't feel drawn to talking about on social media, but during that podcast, maybe that was supposed to come up, because it's interesting. There was a feeling very specifically of like with that one person, but now like they directly tried to manipulate that. So I'm like, well, that's what's happened. So probably maybe something better. If something doesn't work out, something better happens. Something a lot bigger, because I'll tell you this. The first person to invite me on they had a good amount of followers, like a pretty good amount. And every time I said it didn't work out or whatever, it kept going up, until this last person was like millions and millions. And I'm like, that's interesting. So if that doesn't happen, something way bigger is going to happen. Because I have done miracles and I've seen miracles, and I've been doing that stuff. And literally, as I've been putting this stuff out, and I've been doing all this stuff like, okay, help the planet, this stuff has been coming up. And this has been stuff trying to abuse me for like 3 years, narcissistic abuse. She tried to get other people involved to try to abuse me. Yeah. Yeah. So, and having to try and say that where, yeah, that it was starting from narcissistic abuse, and then having people just go straight into darkness, and then they were trying to go at you. So that happened with soul family members of mine. That happened with Chelsea Smith and friends of hers. They went into shadow. They went into darkness. I said that on another video. She had a bunch of witchcraft around her. She was just walking. She didn't even look. She didn't. Okay, I'll say it. She didn't fully. Do I want to say that? She didn't look female when she walked a couple times. Okay, went straight into darkness. Sorry, and it looked like I was looking at just. Yeah, didn't look female. It was that just dark and into that level of energy, and I was just like, oh my god, didn't look like the same person that's looking at it. I was like, what the hell is going on? Yeah. Group attack, all this sort of shit, and I'm like, that's interesting. To the point, like, I actually have known her multiple lifetimes. We're supposed to be a helper of mine from past lives. To the point, I'm like, I will do anything to ever help her ever now. Perhaps she's acting. Literally tried to like harass the shit out of me with her friends, and then tried to intimidate and bully and fuck with and pull all this stuff. And yeah, like there's a bunch of shit. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Yeah. So it's just the point of like, fuck this. I'm not somebody who's going to be treated like this by any of you that think I'm not going to say anything. I will find a way. So, and you try to fuck with a podcast, I will find a fucking way. I will find a way, and it will be very big. It will be very big. So it won't be like if it was already something, and it would be in a way I wanted. So if it was already something like that that was not suggested to her, she had, I don't know how many millions of followers and stuff, it would be probably to that or bigger. It'd probably have to be bigger. It'd have to be in some sort of way I'd want. But I want people to know about it. So like there's a bunch in there. Abuse, the stuff of bullying, the stuff about narc abuse, the stuff about the corruption stuff that was coming up. There's all this, like, I literally put that out just like, okay, this is going to help these areas, okay? And next thing you know, it's coming out of some of these people. I'm like, what? Yeah. I kind of was like, okay, weird. Yeah. And yeah, I will probably, maybe I'll talk about all this, like, imagine this, and I just felt that, okay, imagine someone, this has literally happened, that disgusting, I was going to say absolute piece of shit, narcissist, was trying to make psychic suggestions towards me and connect to me about, literally make a post, this has happened, okay, about narcissism, about healing from narcissism. So a narcissist that abused you, that tried to get you to talk about ways to heal from that. Yeah, that has actually happened. That has actually happened. Tried to project and talk sexually about other women to me to try to turn me on sexually at night and say madam, like she was being some sort of madam thing. Yeah, she's into BDSM, which I didn't know. And then I found out later she wanted to hang from hooks in her back, that she would have liked that. And be tied up, all this fucked up stuff, okay? And like literally talking about, as long as you're gentle with them, and talking about her son being raped, trying to put markers on my back and turn me on, and literally start talking about her kid being molested. And even said something sexual about my nephew, who isn't even 4 years old now, and the anger coming up in you, like you want to punch someone in the face, punch her obviously, punch someone in the face, and they're trying to act like that, and they know that they're doing that, like, oh yeah, like, so because of all this shit that was pulled with this, and all of this that has happened, and I see posts, it's just like, well, here's the thing. I know no matter what, this is the message. I keep getting messages of I'm seeing who they are. I'm showing who all these people are, who they really are. That they're being drawn out. That's another one. So if you know anything about with God, they're about like, oh, people being drawn out of like, guess what? You're pulled right out here, and this is yeah. And that has happened with Brent Jacobs and his friends quite a bit. That's happened quite a bit, where they want to build their fake image. And I've had it where, I said it before in another video, the bullshit at the gym I dealt with, the bullshit at the moto, all this sort of stuff, they're all fake. They're all fake. That are the ones involved. It's all fake. It's fake shit. It's all fake. I've seen a lot of fake stuff for people on this list. It's all fake. And when you have a bunch of people do this towards you, and it's all coming at you, and you're like, this is fucked. Yeah. Like, I don't know how people thought they were going to pull this. And definitely that one on that island, that nurse is like, how can you possibly do this and not even consider what your life is going to be? Like, how can you not consider, like, you tried to get all these people involved to go at one person, and you thought, like, their family, all this stuff, and you thought you're going to be what? Like, what did they think they're going to be at the end of this? I know what's happening to them. I was told by the universe. That's why there is this feeling in me of like, don't worry. It's, oh, I know what's happening to a bunch of them. And it's like, okay, yep, that's pretty good. And that's something I love about karma. This is something I've learned in the past couple of years with karma. And I've learned about, like, I'm looking at the card of a coach I had, or I was a teacher of mine. And there can be don't get me wrong, okay, if somebody is attacking me with some of this stuff, there's definitely times I've definitely hit back. And I was like, fuck this, I've had enough. But I've also seen when I don't, when I'm like, nope, I'm going to let you guys do what you did. It's worse. It's a lot worse. It is a lot worse. There is people on that list that are losing their business. There is people that are having some major stuff in their life happen to them now that they didn't realize because of what they tried to pull. So if you get a group together and think you're going to pull it as a group, you're going to see some major stuff happen. Like major stuff. If you're like, oh, let's pull this stuff on that list and be abusive towards this group, it's not going to go away. You guys thought, and I've seen all sorts of, oh, I saw posts they're going to throw them to the wolves, do this, that, trying to cause fear in me if I talk on podcasts or say certain things or whatever. We'll try to find this on whatever. If you've already gone and pulled all this, and then you try to pull more, and you try to do as a group, do you have any idea what it's going to be like for you guys? I don't think you get it. I really don't. Yeah, I had somebody try to do an attack at my face and loop it. And this came from a former, And I was at the front lawn having stuff try to loop and attack towards my face, trying to feel like it was almost trying to punch me. And I remember when that happened, and I remember when this happened in the past couple months, and I went, man, like I don't think they've realized what their life is going to be now. Yeah, I felt it. And at the same time, there was monitoring outside the front of the house wanting me to abuse power and hit back and abuse power. And when a minute I felt that, I was like, no, I'm not going to abuse power with this because obviously you want me to do that. And I mean like literally like, yeah. So like, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Is he going to go back and like really try to do something like really not like, yeah. And I went, and it tried to do this for like hours. It tried to pull this for hours. I had to tell my family. They're like, are you all right? Are you all right? And I told them what was happening. And I was on a flower essence to help clear trauma. So it was all this trauma was coming up all at me. And then right as it happened, Jillian Wisborg actually first tried to create links towards me while I was going through that. It's like, hey, here's a time to attack them. And then later on, it ended up being like that loop. It tried to put a loop and a hold. And I think there was entanglement too, of like, oh, trying to bring this towards their face. They don't understand, and this is the thing, you know, maybe I'm trying, normally when something like this, I'm sure I'll be talking about this. What are they going to have to go through now? What do they have to go through now? And here's a big one. I've only taught this to one person ever. Revision. Okay? I don't even like bringing his name up. This is a Neville Goddard thing, okay? Revision, when you literally are able to, something happens, okay? Or you in your life, and you go, no, actually, it happened, this is what happened, and you create something different. So people tried to do attacks towards me, and then they tried to revise it and go, no, we didn't attack now. Oh no, things are fine, without realizing this is a thing, okay? So when people are like, oh, you can't change, you can actually shift things around. It doesn't mean the karma's gone. That's what I've learned, because that would be kind of nuts, wouldn't it? Like, we can just do this, and no, they are going to have to deal with this. So it's not like, I'm going to loop this attack towards this guy, and then we're going to try to revise it, and we're fine. Oh no, Brandon Jacobs is the only person I have ever taught this to. One person. It's this weird feeling. I only said one person. Actually, no, his group was trying to do that. They were trying to pull shit towards me. Weiss tried to do it. Chelsea tried to do shit, and they incorporated their friend Jack in there. And then there's this bits of revision. They tried to literally be around me and gauge my reaction after they group attacked me. They tried to get me to go to the gym, which there's a psychic nudge, and there he is being a little fucking asshole, which he is. I even just felt that as a nudge to say little fucking asshole, which is interesting. So he wants to play like, oh, it's innocent little Brandon, but he's not. He's not. So he was standing there trying to, without words, the energy was speaking of like, just, like I want you to see me and do one of these. And I'm like, you little fucking asshole. He did a read on my energy right after that group attack. Interesting, because I had a soul family member do a read for me. And picked out Chelsea, and he said, 2 women, 1 guy. The guy looks like you could just push him right over. Brandon. Specifically, shirt color, everything. Chelsea. Oh, and she's jealous of me. That came up too. And sort of naming the different people. I went, thanks for confirming. So they tried to do revision. I was at the library. I feel energy sent to me. And at the time I was tired. And then I felt this nudge of like, go to the gym. And I was like, that's not, well, no, I'm going to see what this is. But it was a nudge. And then I go in, I was like, there it is. And I see him. And right then, I also see flashes of other people connected to Moto. And I'm like, so they would try to do revision. And then I'm hearing like, does he know? Does he know? They don't know what I can pick up on if I want to, okay? So I've had that. I've had his wife try to monitor me psychically when I went to the doctor's office. I have had them try to project at me when I went to go get my ankle, x-rayed and ultrasound. I said that in another video. He took projections at me, trying to fuck with me with that. Harassment at different areas in Sherwood Park in Alberta. Yeah, I've had enough. Chelsea literally walked by my family's house with her boyfriend, and the intent was like trying to intimidate him. Like, well, you involved him now, so you open that up. Yeah. So there's so much that I'm going to be talking about, and I'm gonna need to get right into this. So I'm going to have to probably find I don't know if I'm drawn to doing my own, if it ends up being a podcast, but I need to tell everyone about all of them, about everything they did, and yeah, there's a bunch now, yeah, because it was all abusive shit towards me. Yeah, and I don't like that feeling that they're pretending. I'm like, I know now who you guys are and the stuff you pulled. You do not just be like, oh yeah, we're gonna go and treat this person and say we're conditioning like an animal, and then run back to your business and like, oh, we're here to help you with your all this about parking degradative and all this. No, he's a little fucking piece of shit asshole is who he is, and I want people to know. Yeah, he is. He's a toxic little asshole. He is. There's no other word for it. But the thing is, if people saw me like, oh, poor Brandon, he's this or that. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not this little fucking kid that people say, no, he's not. And to have that shit, and to have that where people have tried to abuse you and then want to be like, oh, how is he around us now? literally tried to be around you in the non-physical after abusing you. Jillian's done that. That narcissist has tried to do that. Chelsea Smith and her friends were trying to do that. I literally was in this room. I heard, "Got you covered." That was Chelsea. Tried to connect to my field with 2 of her friends at one point. She's oh my God. Like, this is who these fucking people are. This is who they actually are. Who they actually are. So I'm going to get to tell everyone everything that they did. All these people. And I'm telling you, I bet there's a bunch. I bet there's a ton for a bunch of them. Because if you look at that, well, look at the email I posted. Look at the email I posted and the response I got with her. There's people there like, "What are you talking about? Oh no, she's this." She's not. She's not. She's abusive. And I list off all the stuff she did. So I don't care what's going on there. She pulled all this and she got other people to try to abuse me. That's who she is. Okay? So I can list off all the shit they did. And I've had enough. I've had enough. Just really toxic people. And then I've had them even try to connect to a chakra and manipulate. They were projecting stuff on my solar plex. And I even had it when I went to say something with their name and they tried to manipulate to push a feeling. This has happened. This is how manipulative they are. I have had people, Joe Misborg tried to manipulate my heart. She tried to do that. Like actually connect, tried to manipulate, tried to merge with my back, entangle with my solar plex, and push a program on me. And then throw markers on my head, under my feet, all this stuff. This is when you're seeing the difference between, okay, that girl, and the word is girl, she's a girl, she's a kid, okay? She's a fucking kid. 27, but she's a fucking kid. She, yeah, you have to watch the other videos. I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to break this into different ones, and maybe it will be some sort of podcast or something, and see what all the stuff is that I'll mention. I'm not just going to be like, "Oh, they just pulled this with me." No, I'm not. I literally am supposed to be doing EMDR on Tuesday for trauma. I'm not just going to, I've done ayahuasca, it's going to be EMDR, I have used mushrooms, all sorts of shit for trauma, and you guys thought you were going to pull stuff towards me while going through this level of stuff that I've been through. Oh, fuck, did you pick the wrong fucking person? You picked the last fucking person to put this with. Oh my fucking God, you don't know me. And when I see posts like, "Oh, this is not a group of women you want to fuck with," why is there even a group of women, Mary? Why the fuck are you trying to get a group of women to pull shit toward me when your fucking friend was that toxic? Yeah. How about I tell them all the stuff I've dealt with, was going through with your group and all this, and then people look at it and go, "Oh, fuck." Because I can almost guarantee, and why, and I know she manipulated around that podcast, and so did Gavin Bernstein, so you guys didn't want me to talk about you. Of course you didn't. And I know, of course you didn't. You don't want people to hear this stuff because it doesn't look, yeah. I'm not going to have the people try to abuse me and do shit as groups towards me like this and not talk about it and not get right into it about what they did. And then people can go, "Okay," and you're going to know when I say it of, "Holy shit, like that sounds like whoa," but he's not bullshit. Like that's not a lie that he's saying about any of this. Like, holy fuck. People know. Any of the stuff I said, even if like, "Oh my God," listen to it. How does it feel? How does it feel when I say that? Does it feel like I'm like, "Oh no, no"? They will know. They will know. So